Good morning, Nathaniel. I'm clearing the field. Good morning. Welcome. We're gonna try to tap in with River Phoenix tonight. Tonight. He died at night. I meant this morning. Spirit already said satanic, so I'll show ya.
Woods.
Woods.
I'm inside the car.
Woods. She is psychic. Look on shelf. Satanic. 8 Woods. I'm inside the car. That's what I got so far. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium. Hi, Lily. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on all major platforms. You can find all of that information in the bio if you go through the YouTube, Patience with Spirit. We have... Spirit said Mike. Look in the truck. I'm inside the car. Woods 8 satanic. She is psychic. Look on shelf. Figure in mirror. So okay. So I've been getting a lot of messages from River Phoenix lately, and he's been sending me River Phoenix Halloween. What was that other one he said to me? Those are like the 3 major ones that pops up. So River Phoenix is from the 90s. He died in the 90s. And this morning I was getting so many 90s songs. I was like, what the hell? The first one I got this morning was Constant Craving. And then the second one I got was What I Am. And the third one I got is Isn't It Ironic? So the Constant Craving one says, even through the darkest phase, be it thick or thin, always someone marches brave here beneath my skin. And constant craving has always been. Maybe a great magnet pulls all souls towards truth, or maybe it is life itself feeds wisdom to its youth. Constant craving. Oh, my eye is burning. So if you guys don't know who River Phoenix is, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're going to be trying to tap in with River Phoenix. If you guys don't know who that is, he's an actor from the 90s. He was born August 23rd in 1970. And his numerology number is a 2. And then he passed on Halloween in 1993. But what's interesting is that he was 23 years old when he passed on Halloween, and he was born on the 23rd of August. So that's very interesting. His death numerology number is an 8. Okay, so let me see. I thought I might have a... Oh, I do. 8 is action, mastery, and accomplishment. And 2 is unity, balance, and partnerships. So there's definitely something strange about the number 23. Didn't they make a movie, The Number 23? Where he kept finding the word 23, or the number 23. Let me just look that up real quick. What is the movie 23 about? Someone who becomes obsessed with the mysterious book about a detective obsessed with the number 23, seeing parallels between the story and his own life. As his paranoia grows, he spirals into a conspiracy about the number, only to discover at the film's conclusion that he is the book's author and a murderer suffering from amnesia due to suicide attempt. He wrote the book which details his own crime, and his obsession was a manifestation of his lost memories and guilt. Due to his own amnesia, he wrote a book which details his own crime. His paranoia grows and he spirals into a conspiracy theory. That's the other word he kept telling me Halloween. Conspiracy is the third word. Halloween, well, he kept saying River, Phoenix, Halloween, conspiracy. That's what he kept saying. So, hello everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm new to the TikTok live, so please forgive me if I don't do it right. I usually do two lives every weekend on YouTube. But Spirit guided me to come here for this morning's live. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you for all the love and support. We're so grateful to be here, to be of service, to find higher perspectives of linear views to help everyone understand energy through our own spirit team. We're very passionate about that. If you want to check out more metaphysical information, you can go to our podcast, Spirit News, which is on all major platforms. You can just search it in the search bar and it will come up. That's guidance from our own spirit team and knowledge about the energy we're going into, timeline jumps, and energy spikes, and what to expect going into the new earth energies. And it's very fun to be here with you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be of service. Yellow, and the color freaking yellow.
Steeped in superstition.
Spirit just said mirror is steeped in superstition. I don't know if anybody messes with mirror magic, or scrying or looking into the mirror. Spirit says you should be careful doing that. There could possibly be something about an energy attachment to River Phoenix, because I have figure and mirror. I'm in the room. Mirror is steeped in superstition. So there could be something about some kind of mirror magic. It kind of reminds me of when, what's that guy's name? Terrence Howard. He admitted that he stares into the mirror and then something else comes into the mirror and he invites the thing in the mirror, something like that. We'll see though. We'll see. That's what mirrors remind me of. So there's something significant about the number 23. He could have figured something out, something that he couldn't remember, something he had amnesia about, something that he was unsure of how to identify. It could have been possibly popping up randomly in his life as he was, making movies and stuff. He was making a movie called Dark Blood, which is a weird name. It actually finished in 2012 because he was filming it in the middle of his death. Like, he died while filming it. Not while filming it, but it was still in production when he passed. So there's definitely something about his paranoia growing. He started to see parallels between some kind of memories in his own life. Possibly something he had amnesia from. I don't know if he did a suicide attempt, but he could have possibly been under substances or something. And there could have been some manifestation about messages from beyond, some manifestation. It manifested itself through a drug overdose, some kind of memories of guilt, but not being able to identify like where they're coming from. He was in the Hollywood scene, so he could have potentially been drugged or taken. Swipe right to view interaction tips and viewer tags. I'm sorry, I'm new to the TikTok live. I usually go live on YouTube, so please forgive me if I'm doing it wrong. Any advice is definitely welcomed. So thank you all for hitting the like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So let's get into it. River Phoenix, please tell us more. Tell us your point of view. Let's get a higher perspective of a linear view. All right, so I got Moana. Let me see. So I know Moana is a medium. If you guys ever watch Moana, she talks to her ancestors. She's a medium. She's the shaman for her tribe. Um, the ancestors go through her to guide the tribe. So there's definitely something about being energetically sensitive. Hmm. There's something about like a hive mind or like a tribe mind or
Place.
place. Oh, he said place. I don't know.
Finger.
Finger. My finger was on this island. He said a place. He could have come from or grew up in a place where there almost, it looks kind of like a commune. Doesn't it look kind of like a commune? This, like almost like, a patch of land with a group of people that share some kind of, um, Moana's a medium, so some kind of spiritual knowledge, something about spiritual knowledge. There could have been up to three people from this place that set off on their own that wanted to separate from this group community where he possibly could have grew up at. Um, Now, Maui is a demigod, and Maui's right here. This could be referring to possibly his parents or whoever runs this community could potentially
The
think
day.
in the day, could potentially think that they're some kind
Half.
of anointed demigods or half god, half humans or something. There's definitely something about him wanting to leave that behind, wanting to pack up and go, wanting to forget where he came from. He may have had to run away, like leave without his parents knowing, because they probably wouldn't have let him leave otherwise, or something like that. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with me this morning. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. So, tell me more. What do you want us to know? He died on Halloween, which is very interesting as well, because we know that spiritual people like to use Halloween as like a portal. I have this. I've actually never seen this card before, so that's interesting. This community could potentially breed a lot of children. They had a lot of children. They had a litter of children that lived in poor conditions, that lived, um, to stack together in one room. Um, but they kind of like made the best of it. It's like they weren't aware of any other kind of lifestyle. There's definitely a few that
Shut it off.
shut it off. There's a cat on the roof, a mouse on the roof, a red mailbox, a water trough. Hmm. They may have treated some of the children differently than the rest of the children. Some children would get certain opportunities or would get favoritism. They
City.
city. Oh, he said city. Is this the Viper room? Is this the Viper room? Of course, metaphorically. Spirit speaks in metaphors, symbology. So, oh, that's interesting because this, look at behind the barn house. It looks like a city street. And barn houses aren't usually on city streets, so this could be referring to the Viper Room. Hmm. Can you please clarify this card? Is this... Where's my nose? Please clarify this. Is this your house you grew up in, or is this like Hollywood? Like, what is this? Let me see. Okay, I don't know where my yes no cards are. Oh, here they are. All right, River. Is this your community that you grew up in? Is this first card your community you grew up in? Some kind of community or commune or yes, okay. Is the second card your how it was living in with all those people, or is this the Viper Room? It's okay, I have to ask one question at a time. I'm sorry. Is this the Viper Room? Yes. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. All right, there's something about look how this black dog is looking at some of the dogs. Kind of like he knows something's going on. Resurrect old ideas, breathe new life into it. Beyond your ability, done to death, not viable. Done to death, not viable. Misled by false signal. Follow the guidance, it leads to truth, but he was misled by a false signal. He was used beyond his ability. It was done to death, and he wasn't viable anymore. Okay. Tell me more about not being viable over the Viper Room. Was this a planned event? Was your death premeditated? Was your death premeditated? Yes. You will. Yes. Stormy relationships. Trouble strikes, uproar. Stormy relationships. April.
Cursed location.
Oh my gosh, cursed location. The Viper Room. The Viper Room could be a room, and it was on Halloween. The Viper Room building could be cursed in some way. They could practice some kind of something there that has cursed the land or the energy of the Viper Room. It could be a place where negative energy likes to go to cause stormy relationships, or trouble always strikes, or there's always an uproar or some kind of chaos there because it's a cursed location. Okay. Tell me more. What do you want us to know about you in this situation? He said it was a planned event. Food and drink. We'll look in the Dream Dictionary. Food and drink. Grapes have a reputation for being slightly decadent, partly because it takes a lot of heat and sunshine to ripen them properly, and also because they are made into wine. Feeding someone or being fed grapes symbolizes sensual luxury and a relaxed attitude towards sex. It also is suggestive of Roman orgies. Oh my gosh, orgy? Some kind of, which is so funny because we were watching The Peacemaker last night and they were having an orgy too. So there's something about the Viper Room hosting secret orgies that are like separate from the Viper Room. Um but there were some wolves in sheep's clothing that had an ambivalent reputation. Um they could have met some
Five.
five, could have been five people. Someone romantic, someone who was a predator, someone who was a vicious killer, or these act as a pack, someone who's a pack leader. They may have been in relationship with somebody who was a lone wolf, someone who's elusive. He was afraid that someone was trying to muscle in on his lover or his dreams. He was threatened by this person. He perceived freedom and he wanted freedom from something.
Posters.
He wanted freedom from something, but the wild wolf chased him and snapped at him, howling, making problems in his life. This wolf has a reputation for being sly and clever, and a hunter that steals chickens from the hen house. To steal things from people who are admirable, adaptable, attractive, and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But something disturbing came close to him and to shape the behavior, a shapeshifter. Someone who's a shapeshifter, a scavenger, feeding on the kill of other animals. Warfare, spiritual warfare. I can't make it up. Warfare and weaponry. A conflict turned into a war. It became complex. The context started to create warfare on the mind. It was like climbing up a mountain while carrying a weapon. Something he wasn't prepared for. He didn't know how to prepare for.
Balance of light and dark.
The balance of light and dark. It was
Blood in the city.
blood in the city. It was threatening and hurting others, and the spiritual warfare, almost that must be the conspiracy things that he was starting to remember. There's something that kill at a distance variety. Kill at a distance, just like spiritual warfare, where someone can affect you if you're an energetic match, and it can hurt you without even touching you. So we have to remember that spiritual warfare is real, y'all, and River Phoenix could have been a victim of spiritual warfare. I have warfare and weaponry right here. Oh, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much. What else? A home, a relationship, a family. This person could have been as close as his family. Someone who is either part of his family or... Remember, he ran away from his family. He didn't want to be part of whatever group mentality this was. And so he thought that he could make it on his own, and he did. And he was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and he was excited, and he was eager. And he got a spot in Hollyweird. But he was running with the wrong crowd. Possibly whoever he was running with was actually in contact or something with his family, some of his family members. Electricity is a dangerous force to be treated with respect. He was needing to call somebody who was a specialist that specialized in some kind of energy because he felt powerless, because he felt blocked and unpleasant all the time. And he was starting to have memories that had to do with something that he saw, but he didn't understand because he wasn't remembering it completely. He started working like a carpenter. He could have possibly started working with Yeshua to try to heal something that kept coming up for him. Disagree. Okay, thank you so much. Spirit says disagree. Or maybe that's what he should have went to help for. Or he started putting the pieces together. Or he started working with wood, starting to patiently put pieces together, starting to become quieter, starting to return to himself and turn away from those who are trying to possess him. He was a work in progress, and he was in the middle of doing a project. He thought that he had to work alone. He was trying to isolate himself, but he was also in the middle of doing a project, and he was starting to face problems and unable to complete work because he didn't have a sound foundation, and it was shaky and unsafe, and it was already in the middle of collapsing because he was starting to find clues of how to improve his structure. Possibly even through his dreams, he was starting to get hints, maybe from his spirit team. As I turned the page, Dove. Yeah, he could have possibly been started to be guided by his spirit team to put pieces together about a faith that he used to believe in. And then tell me more about, oh, it says right here, he welcomed a harbinger of spring, and spirit said April, a dark harbinger who pretended to have some kind of spring, like some kind of abundance. But they started to become demanding. And as these memories, or as he started to put pieces together, he started to feel the demands encroaching and starting to feel caged in by this harbinger of spring. So probably somebody who could have been very close to him, that knew the scene, that knew the Hollywood, maybe like an agent or a friend or something like that. Tell us more about this harbinger. Tell us more about this harbinger. Who's this harbinger? There's some significance about the Viper Room being a cursed place. Something takes place there that's cursed the land or has given it cursed energy. Something with some kind of portal or something that they've opened there. So when people go there, there could possibly be, orgies, but in a separate room or something, some kind of separate room where there could possibly be some kind of ritual or something that happens by an altar. He could have went there to be a part of this thing on Halloween night, but there's something that spooked him or something that made him want to leave, made him not want to be a part of it. Tell me about this harbinger, the foodie. Foodie are people who love food, but not just as fuel for their bodies. Somebody who could possibly be a junkie, someone who could possibly have addiction problems, someone who likes to eat a particular type of food, or these, or whatever this ritual is involved a certain type of, because I have right here a little water bowl at the top right here, or food bowl, so definitely something going on with that. Tell me more about this harbinger, the jokester. You will never feel bored once you start dating a funny person. Could be a comedian. And it says dating. The serial dater. The serial dater loves the thrill of the chase and the excitement of the beginning. Let's see who he was dating at the time. Because one of the songs I got was Constant Craving. What I Am, and Isn't It Ironic? Let me see. Who was River Phoenix dating before he died? Samantha Mathis. Mathis was with Phoenix on the night of his death at the Viper Room. Oh shit. Mathis remained silent about the events of that night for many years, only speaking publicly about the tragedy in interviews starting in 2018, 25 years after Phoenix's death. That's interesting. It was too much loss, I fell apart. Mathis accompanied Phoenix to the Viper Room on the night he died. She witnessed his fatal drug overdose and was with his brother and sister during the event. Did Samantha Mathis know what was going to happen that night? Yes. Yes. Did your brother and sister know what was going to happen that night? Did your brother and sister know what was going to happen that night? Yes. It's just forked up a real tine in the behind. It's real messed up. Getting the real scoop. Shady deals, dark road, moonlighting to get by. Town. Are you saying that these people wanted you gone? Are you saying that these people wanted you gone? No. I don't think they wanted them gone, but there's something that they were a part of that led to him being gone. It's going swimmingly off the hook in the flow. Getting caught. Net loss on the tail end of things. Yeah, they definitely got away with something and gained something else. I don't think that they wanted to do this, but there's something that they wanted by doing this. You know, like I'm getting that they're not killers. They don't like go around murdering people, but there's some kind of spiritual warfare that they did, and it ended that way. Okay. Please tell me more. What do they know about? One is a serial dater, one's a jokester, and one's a foodie. So there it was his brother, his sister, and his girlfriend at the time. Tell me more, River. He acted in the mystery plays, high on the stage, but what can help his case? For she so loves this handy Nicholas, that Absalom is living in a bubble. He has nothing but a laugh for all his trouble. She leaves his earnestness for scorn to cool, and makes this Absalom her proper fool. So this was definitely like a handler type situation. For this a true proverb and no lie, it always happens that the nigh and sly will let the absent suffer. So 'tis said, and Absalom may rage or lose his head, but just because he was farther from her sight, this nearby Nicholas got in his light. Now hold your chin up, handy Nicholas, for Absalom may wail and sing. Alas, one Saturday, when the carpenter had gone. Hold on a second. What weekday was Halloween in? Oh, whoops. What weekday was Halloween in 1993? What weekday was Halloween in 1993? It was a Friday. Oh, wait, no, it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday.
I died with others.
I died with others. So he must
Refined.
One Saturday when the carpenter had gone. And Carpenter, we just talked about Carpenter, that was the harbinger. Agreed that he should use his wit and guile. This simple jealous husband to beguile. And if it would happen that the game went right, she would sleep in his arms the livelong night. For both entities, for this was his desire and hers as well. At once, with no more words, this Nicholas fell. To working out his plan he would not tarry, but quietly to his room began to carry both food and drink to last him out a day, or more than one, and told her what to say. She must say she has no notion where he was. She hadn't laid eyes on him all day long. He must be sick or something. He must be wrong. No matter how her maid had called and cried, and studying the moon that shines so bright. That Monday next, a quarter through the night, a rain will fall, and such a mad wild spat that Noah's flood was never half so great. This world, he said, in less time than an hour, it was homicide, shall drown entirely in that hideous shower. Yes, every man shall drown and lose his life. Alas, the carpenter answered, for my wife. Hold on, let me see. River, are you saying that your brother and your girlfriend were having an affair? Yes. Are you saying that your girlfriend was your handler? Yes. Are you saying that your girlfriend, because she was your handler, I don't know, what are you saying? Okay, let me ask a question. Okay, hold on, let me get it straight. Are you saying that your brother was in cahoots with your girlfriend? Oh my God. Was your brother promised to take your spot? Yes. Your brother did this to take your spot. Yes. Was your brother jealous of your fame? Yes. Oh my gosh. I cannot prove this in a court of law. This is just for entertainment purposes only. But River Phoenix might have been done wrong, might have had spiritual warfare sent to him because somebody very close to him was wanting to take his place. And someone who was his girlfriend may have. I don't know why, though. Why? Why would his girlfriend want his little brother? They make various divisions in the pleasures that they call true, for they assign some to the mind and others to the body. Various divisions in the pleasures that they call true, for they assign some to the mind and others to the body. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Someone doesn't want the truth getting out. I hope that everyone will come back. Oh, I got something on my... Hey. The hell? Excuse me. So... Okay. Tell me more. Should we do word tiles? Let's do some word tiles. Okay. Thank you so much, River Phoenix, for being with us. Please tell us more about your story. So these three people in his life, possibly his brother, his sister, and his girlfriend. His girlfriend may have been a handler of his because he was starting to remember something he did. What was it that you were starting to remember? Dazzling in reverse. Something that was not dazzling. Something that was dark. Something that was moody. Something that was nauseating. He was definitely killed. He died of an overdose, but not by his own hand. Complex. Something complex. Something that was very complex for him. The memories he was getting was starting to disturb him, was starting to make him feel nauseating. He was starting to, his dazzling, carefree attitude was starting to decrease because he didn't know how to chemical. He started to use chemicals because he started to remember something that he may have been a part of that he didn't remember before. Clogged. It was clogged before, like it was blocked, and it started to torture him slowly. So that's when whoever this harbinger was that was close to him, perhaps like a manager or someone like a friend, like a close friend. I have Rock right here, someone who plays music perhaps, had to give him a handler who could have been his girlfriend because he started to exhibit memory flashbacks of something he did, something that he started to realize he may have taken part of that started to make him nauseous, and so he started to increase the chemicals to decrease the memories because they were fragmented. Despair, despise. I said despair, I meant despise. It started to torture him because he despised what he did. So he was starting to want to understand more. He was starting to want to understand what these memories were because he made a mistake and it was festering. It was starting to fester and he didn't know how to change his energy into a garden because it was starting to decrease his laughter because of some kind of secret that he started to remember, something that he was discovered that he was behind, that he took part in. Let me ask something. Are you are you saying that you started to remember something that you did that was despicable? Yes. Is whatever what you did part of this Hollyweird situation? Yes. Did they give you something or do something to you so that you wouldn't remember? Yes. Did they drug you? Yes. Why? I want to find out why he started to remember. Why did you start to remember this secret attack? He started to remember because of spiritual attacks? Are you saying you started to wait, hold on. You said attack. Are you saying you started to remember because of spiritual attacks? Yes. Were you being attacked by your family spiritually? Yes. Were you also being attacked spiritually by Hollyweird? Yes. Were they working together? Yes. Uh, so why did they, oh, you know what? Did you tell them or ask them questions about the memories you were recalling? Yes. Is that why they started to attack you through spiritual warfare? Yes. Did you understand that they were using spiritual warfare? No. No. Did you think that it was your family? No, not at the time. Does your family and Hollyweird share similar religious beliefs? Yes. Uh, so you had an overdose at the Viper Room. Tell me about that. What was supposed to happen that night? There was some kind of event happening, some kind of ritual that was happening that day for Halloween. Um, Tell me about that. What can you tell me about that? Sex. Loved. Gone fishing. Catch of the day. And there's 3 people here. Look, there's 3 people here. 1, 2, 3. So one of the people could have possibly not even known what was going on, but 2 did, because these 2 have a fishing pole. This one here and this one here, and then the predator. So there's definitely some kind of plan, something that was procurator. Someone who's ashamed of what they've done, who has been having a hard time living with what they've done. The thing is, it's when you come into contact with spiritual manipulation or energy manipulation, and you use it impulsively or in a moment where you're upset or angry at somebody or jealous or whatever low emotion you're feeling at the time, and you come across a situation where you can manipulate the situation or the energy. Huh. When you do that,
Samuel is watching.
Samuel is watching. When you do that,
Fateful moments.
people think like, oh, I won't feel bad because I'm not touching them. I'm not doing it physically. But when something happens to that person and it's directly correlated to something you did, it still counts. It still counts in the eyes of God. You still took an action to come together with people, to create a plan, to hurt somebody. Even though you didn't touch them physically, you still did that. And so that is something that he is pointing out. There could be people who are ashamed that they did this, but Zunair invites you to co-host. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Hi. Hi. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I've never co-hosted before. So there could have been somebody who wanted to take his place, wanted to stop being the co-host, that didn't want to ride in his coattails, that didn't want to be left behind, that didn't want to be in his shadow. Tell me more about that. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for all the likes. I'm so grateful to you. My name is Patience. I'm a spirit medium. I am so excited to bring the messages forward. We're getting a higher perspective of a linear view of River Phoenix. We're getting his point of view to find out what happened to him. So thank you so much, River Phoenix, for being with us. The good parts of the internet. The good parts of the internet. Wholesome content, blessed images, and kitties. And look at this, there's a kitty right here. A fragile but functional teleportation machine. One of these people, possibly his brother or his girlfriend, could have possibly used divination. They could have possibly used divination or some kind of way to, I mentioned scrying earlier, to tap into the energy of River Phoenix. Someone who is actually like Adolf Hitler, someone who's very controlling, someone who's very jealous, very judgmental, but they like to look like the good parts of them. They like to showcase the good parts of them, so people don't know that they're like that. But they wanted to take River Phoenix's home. They wanted to take its place, basically. A bioterrorist trying to weaponize smallpox in the Empire State Building. Yeah, because this person's a tyrant. They could possibly always have to have their way. They could possibly have tunnel vision when it comes to River. They were very jealous of him. They viewed him as an Empire State Building, someone who's very, has a lot of authority, who's very tall, who has a stable foundation, who always gets what they want, who always gets their way, and that really upset them. They want to be viewed as somebody who's they want to be viewed as somebody who's blessed, who has who's wholesome, who, but they're really jealous of River. So that's partly why they came together. There's something that River wouldn't do for them. A violent barbarian on a pillaging spree. Yeah, there's definitely something that River wouldn't do for them. Or that he wasn't. Tell me more about this bioterrorist. A crew filming a live episode of a beloved children's TV show. Yeah, he kept bothering River to they kept bothering River to like, come on man, get me in the movies, do this for me, do that for me, come on, you have the pull and blah, but they didn't want to like work for it, you know, they didn't want to work hard for it, they just wanted River to like get them in. And when River was like, no, I'm really busy, like you'll have your chance, like give me a second, you know, like I have a lot going on, because he started to remember these things. And so he started to tell, you know, this person what he was started to remember, and this person like used it against him or something. They used it as like bioterrorism to weaponize it against him. They got some kind of reading, notorious hacker. Yeah, they got some kind of reading to hack into his energy, because they wanted to find out what his future was. Supreme Court justices you agree with. So that way he could find out what people he could use to, I guess, to get him out of the way, I guess. A scientist racing to warn everyone about an impending disaster. If you don't listen, we're all going to die. Because River Phoenix, he started to remember a secret that was very disastrous that he wanted to warn everybody about. And he would possibly warned his brother of the things that he had to do to get into Hollywood. But this brother or this person in his life is like Adolf Hitler. They're like matching, that's like a matching energetic frequency to whatever Hollywood is into. Um, but he wasn't into it, and he couldn't remember until to Cthulhu. Yeah, he started to remember something that was very nauseating, something that was not dazzling, something that was a mistake. He told this person, "You don't want to be a part of this because look what I had to do, and I'm tortured by this." But this person, they don't care. They wanted to they're into that because there's something similar in their family that they did that was close to it. Talk their way out of a speeding ticket. Yeah, they're very charismatic. They're very they like to make themselves look wholesome, but they're very sneaky. They're very underhanded. Fart and blame it on someone else. Yeah.
Kick.
They like to kick you when you're down.
I will not.
They have abusive, toxic traits, and they definitely took part in this thing on. Tell me about this thing on Halloween. Why did he die on Halloween? Why did he die on Halloween? Set a record on Jeopardy. Because he was starting to, he wanted questions answered. He was starting to feel vulnerable because of what he was remembering, and he wanted his questions answered. So there's something about a setup. Be too grossed out to eat their food after a fly lands on it. Curse in front of small children. Curse. Something about his food. He could have had an overdose not because he did the drugs, but because someone gave it to him. Someone gave him something with speed and cocaine in it. Bid on something they can't afford at an auction. Go on a spontaneous road trip. Keep extra clothes at work just in case. Misplace a winning lottery ticket. He was led to the Viper room because there was something going on that night that would help curse him. But he had to ingest something, and whatever he ingested through the food, they poisoned his food. It, instead of cursing him, and it was like, this is like a destiny swap. It wasn't necessarily supposed to kill him. It was just supposed to get him.
So here belongs to me.
something here belongs to me. It was just supposed to get him
Crawling on the floor.
into the ritual, but they gave him too much. It was just supposed to get him loose enough to get him messed up enough to go into the ritual, because that's what they do. They get him high so he doesn't remember, and then he participates in something he doesn't remember, and that it's like something he was supposed to do that night in this ritual that was at the Viper Room. Um, but they went an extra step further. So whoever these people are, they did an extra step further that was spontaneous, because they felt like there was something they couldn't afford if he stuck around. He needed to be gone. So they made a misjudgment or misplaced their place in this ritual work, and they spontaneously did extra work to put something in his food to make it extra. They gave him extra, because they didn't want him to be around. They didn't want him to ever be able to out them or question them or tell anybody about what they were doing. Secretly pick up the tab at dinner with friends, win a staring contest, sugarcoat bad news to avoid hurting a friend's feelings, have an exhibit at the Guggenheim. Yeah, they wanted it to look like an accident. They went on there was a original plan. What the heck?
Morrison. Headed.
I've never done a live on TikTok, but I don't understand it. It says that there was inactive, but I'm literally in the middle of it, so I don't understand. I don't understand it, but basically, it was these three people that were part of some kind of. Tell me more what they were part of. There's some kind of secret um, dinner with friends, because they thought they were going to win something to get River to come to this ritual. They were supposed to give him substances, but one person out of these three people decided to do extra to get rid of him, because they made a spontaneous decision that getting rid of him would be better than him sticking around. So they secretly picked up the tab and did something, and then just waited, and won a staring contest and just waited for the bad news to avoid anybody's hurt feelings. And then his death was like on exhibit for everyone to see. And they made it, the spiritual warfare was to make it look like River Phoenix tripped over their own feet, and that they were so upset, yell at the screen during a horror movie, that they were so upset that this happened because they're such a model citizen, and they
Aviator.
and
Practically.
practically. So the real thing was to curse River, to just make it so he would lose jobs, so people would walk away from him, so he wouldn't be so successful, so he would like mess up his own, he'd be like mess up his own destiny, okay? Because he wouldn't help his brother who wanted to be in the same industry as him, but he was trying to protect his brother. He's like, no, because I'm starting to remember something I did to be in this position that's nauseating, that's not dazzling, it's torture. You don't want this. And he kept saying no to his brother, but he kept making movies, so that really made his brother upset secretly behind the scenes. And then so his brother slept with his girlfriend, and then him and his girlfriend were in cahoots together to get him to a ritual, because his brother wanted his girlfriend to think that the ritual would be to bring them closer together, because she needed all of his attention, and he had a lot going on that he couldn't give her undivided attention. So she thought the ritual was going to be to get her closer to him, but really the ritual was to swap destinies. But then at the last minute, before the ritual was finished or before they could get him to the ritual at the Viper Room, this person drugged his food and gave him too much because they spontaneously decided that it would just be better, that instead of him living, it'd be better if he was dead. So that way there's no chance that it could ever come back to them. Okay? Uh, but there is some kind of connection, like his brother has some kind of energy match to whatever this ritual was. How can we heal it? How can we heal it? Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, River Phoenix, for being with us. How can we heal it? Ladybug, good luck. You are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. So I think what he's saying, that the one thing that held him back and made him an energetic match and made him kind of spiral is that he was a bright light, but because of what he did in his family, or there's some kind of repressed memories of something disturbing that he did that he considered a mistake, he couldn't let go of it. It's kind of like the movie 23. It says he wrote the book which details his own crime, and his obsession was a manifestation of his lost memories and guilt. So there's something that was spiraling out of control for him because he was starting to remember something that was very hard for him to accept. And so because of that, uh, it made him spiral, and it made him very addictive with substances, and he was trying to escape something he couldn't understand. He wasn't admitting to himself that there's something beyond his pay grade going on that he needed to seek help from Yeshua from. But he didn't grow up that way. He grew up in some kind of religious commune where his parents could have possibly thought they were demigods. So there's like some kind of weird distortion about that. So he wasn't believing that he could make a true offering because whatever he believed, he had a belief system that he would not receive forgiveness because of something he did, even though he was remembering fragmented parts of it. He knew it wasn't good, but because he couldn't reconcile being forgiven for that, he was very erratic in his behavior. He didn't believe that that he could receive forgiveness or be able to forgive himself for something he thought he could have done. It made him an energetic match to the spiritual warfare that was being projected at him by people who were close to him that wanted to take his spot. He was constantly saying no to people he cared about because he didn't want them to be in the same position as him, but he couldn't tell them that because he didn't know how to tell them. So because he couldn't tell them, because he didn't want to get them involved, because he cared about them, they took that as a sign that he was being rejected by River and that he wasn't going to help them. And so they wanted revenge. They were seeking out vengeance. Well, if you're not going to help me, then I'm going to take your place. I'm going to get rid of you because I'm the next up to the plate. I want to be part of this. I want to do the same thing you're doing. And so River is trying to protect them, and what they viewed as the protection as rejection. And so they took actions to sleep with his girlfriends and go behind their back at the Viper Room and talk to the bigwigs and some kind of harbinger of spring who does rituals in a separate room at the Viper Room. But that wasn't good enough for him. So he just wanted River out of the way. So that's why it happened, because River wasn't in a place to really see things clearly because he was going through his own things. It's okay to feel what you need to feel. And that's where the song, I am what I am. What I am is what I am. I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know, if you know what I mean. Philosophy is the talk on a cereal box. Religion is the
X.
smile on a dog. I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know, if you know what I mean. Choke me in the shallow water before I get too deep. See, so River was like, trust me, you don't want to be a part of this. This isn't something you want. You need to trust me. And then for him, he had he had so many feelings about the horrible things he was starting to remember that he didn't know how to feel them. It's okay to feel what you need to feel. He didn't know how to reconcile whatever it was that he was a part of. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. Yes, that's exactly right. If you, as humans, we can do good and bad. And I'm not saying that, whatever he did wasn't horrible. We don't know what he did, and he didn't even know what he did. It was fragmented memories, and it was something that he couldn't he focused on it. And that's how energy works. Energy goes where your focus goes. Good and bad things can be happening at the same time, and you choose which one you're going to focus on. Yes, bad things happen, but if you keep on thinking about how it happened and when it happened, and you keep living in the past and you can't let go of that, then you will bring things to you that match those thoughts, and you will experience those things. So he's saying if he had a lot of good things going on at the same time as remembering something that he didn't like. And so if he had just allowed himself to release those thoughts and to move forward and to focus on all the good things that were happening, it could have been different. The hex or the curse might not even have touched him, and he could have been able to not rely on substances or chemicals to help him forget something that he was starting to remember. Oh, gratitude right now. Be grateful right now for all you have. Let that guide your path. Everybody is supposed to make mistakes. Everybody comes here to make mistakes. You can't live your life by the mistakes you make. You have to make the mistake, find a way to move forward from that. On Halloween. He just said on Halloween. Oh, he died on Halloween. Throat chakra. There's also something about him wishing that he wouldn't have told anybody. Wishing that he would have maybe, if he was going to tell people, maybe to be more specific about why. But there was something about how he felt like he couldn't speak up, like it was a secret, and he didn't want to. He was trying to protect people. But by protecting people, he actually was festering the secrets within himself instead of sharing them and actually doing something about it. He was too scared to say something. Ugh. Well, thank you so much, River, for being with us. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that those people did you dirty, and I hope in your next incarnation you can do it a little differently. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.